All right, welcome back to McDonald's Retired Coaches Breakfast Club here.
Still don't have coffee.
Where you learn stories about Psycho, Wyco, and chicken bums.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm learning a lot here.
I wish people could hear the conversations we have when we hit stop recording and we just talk in here. This is a blast. Yeah,
gold.
Yeah, this would be YouTube sensation right here. So hey, we're gonna have some fun here, and we don't know how many segments it's gonna be, and we don't really care. We're gonna do as many as we want. We started talking a little bit about this. I know we want to get to Mount Rushmores. Football wrestling connection. Why don't some football players or football coaches get it? I would say that I've been incredibly blessed that Mike Pavlansky has supported our wrestling program from day one. But I go other places and I hear coaches, they fight with football coaches nonstop. What do you think the disconnect is? What do you guys think?
Control.
You think?
Owning players.
I think lack of knowledge of the sport too,
Yeah.
and what's involved with it, and what it can do for your hand fighting techniques, your
Footwork.
tackling techniques, footwork.
Yeah.
You can and look at your programs. Look at Canfield's programs.
Yeah.
Your football and your wrestling is two great programs in the area, and it's obviously 20 wrestlers on the football team.
Yeah, 20 kids on this year's team.
That's
and then last
amazing.
year I think there were 18.
Yeah.
I'm watching play of the week, halfway through the season, and there's Crawford's kid catching a touchdown pass for, up for play of the week. And I'm like, hey, that's a wrestler, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. You hope that at some point, or maybe the coaches that get the connection don't want the other coaches to get the connection, because for me, and Coach, you know this, from Russ Hellickson to Jim Tressel to everybody from Mike Pavlansky, the football coaches that understand the connection, it's just natural. And their success,
They're
I think,
successful.
shows it, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness gracious.
Well, you look at Bill Belichick. I mean, the guy takes his best guard probably that he's ever had on any of his teams, and the guy never played college football.
Yeah, Steve Neal.
Steve Neal. And he just acts like, this has been his whole life doing this. And just, it was amazing to watch, but, I mean, that guy sees it, and that's a pretty sharp guy with football.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The NFL's littered with guys that wrestled in
Yeah.
high school and college and all that.
Ray Lewis, pretty good tackler.
Roddy White.
Yeah.
Receiver.
It's impressive. It really
Yeah.
is. Hopefully, football coaches get a clue, and if they don't, then they're going to be behind. No matter how good their athletes are, their programs are, they're going to be behind. Let's just talk a little bit before we go. We'll go Mount Rushmore in the next segment. What's something you miss about coaching, and then what's something you don't miss? What do you miss about coaching?
I miss this.
Yeah.
I miss wrestling guys talking about wrestling and having a good time together, and there's a camaraderie with wrestling guys that you don't have in any other sport. I mean, I coach football, I coach track. I know guys that coach basketball. There's not the fellowship, and you want to kill a guy when you're wrestling against his team, but as soon as that's over, we're all miserable together.
Yeah.
I think it's the only sport where, I would show one of his kids a move, maybe even at a tournament. Hey, next time, do this, pull the elbow here.
Yeah.
And you want to make everybody better because in the long run it's going to make your team better.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and our juniors and seniors and our older kids, and I'd say our more successful kids, they understand it, but when young kids see for the first time how we act outside of wrestling, because, we've had some hyper-competitive situations in the league and duels where you're screaming at other coaches, and they're screaming at you, and then the match is over, and the next week you're sitting there talking and laughing at the league tournament, and kids are like, we didn't think you liked them guys. I said, like them. They're making us better. Why wouldn't you know? I think when kids see that closeness, it's a special thing. It really is. What don't you miss? Just one thing.
Wow. The grind.
Yeah.
Making weight. Not that we cut a lot of weight at Jackson, but 2-day tournaments.
Yeah.
Having to go back to the hotel.
Holidays.
And you throw pizza out, and it's like, and it goes through 3 holidays.
Yeah.
3 holidays, 2 grading periods.
It's like,
yeah, you're right.
it's so hard to stay in focus that long. That's why you got to really watch your peaking times.
The 11 o'clock phone call that Jimmy's not going to make weight because he just ate all turkey.
Yeah, or a fruitcake. I had a fruitcake kid
Did
one
you
year.
really?
Yeah, he ate a whole fruitcake. I wonder why he was 7 pounds overweight.
Hey, we had a kid whose mom made stew.
So he missed
That's what he
practice.
said.
That's what's his
Yeah.
excuse. For
We said,
practice.
hey, why'd you miss practice? He said, my mom
My
made
mom
stew.
Oh, hey.
Well, yeah.
You gotta
What about
see,
the 4-pound orange?
I just had an orange, guys.
or the kid that ate the icicle that was this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, how about this?
Yeah.
Ever hear this one? I didn't eat or drink anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually I didn't eat anything.
Yeah, I didn't eat anything.
Yeah.
I drank six Gatorade
yeah,
bottles.
6 Gatorade.
Gallon of water weighs 7 pounds out there, just so you know.
And then you know they're going to go to hell because they're telling you, I swear to God.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I would say,
they're
listen,
like this.
yeah, I would say, don't swear to God, we're gonna get struck by lightning here. Just tell me that you. Yeah. So any kid that's watching, when your coach says, "I know you didn't eat anything," they're lying to you. They know you ate, and you can't get one over on them. Anything else you don't miss about it? Because you guys have access all areas. You guys are legends, and you can come and go as you please, and that's got to feel good because you still got a lot of friends in the sport. You know what I mean? Anything else?
That's what you do miss is your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
You know,
I
told him the competition, the competing part of it, but you know, the day to day, man. If you do it for like 25, 30 years, like we did, it's hard at the end. And
Yeah.
But you appreciate the days when you really did have the, you know, everything was like,
Oh, yeah.
wait, you know, I can't
You
wait.
know how few and far between those
Yeah.
still are. But even like overzealous parents have put additional pressure on kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're usually good kids, and it's just like that. You know,
Parents want to live their life through their kids.
Yeah.
That
At best, they were mediocre.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, they're out there. They're out there.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, parents weren't the reason I got out. You know what I mean? When you guys, you know what I mean?
Me neither.
Because
Me
it was
neither.
never the kids. I mean, the kids. There's a connection there. We were lucky because we're educators. You know, we see kids all day long. That was
Right.
helpful for us. You know what I mean? Where that you still had that piece. Yeah. So I mean, it's different. I'm just experiencing it now. It's different. But I'm still able to go in the wrestling room and say hi and joke around and cause problems and. As much as possible, but all right. So hey, that's just kind of an intro for these guys. We're going to do the Mount Rushmores next, and we'll see where this leads us. Thanks.